Long time.
Okay, folks.
Ready to come to order?
And I hope you can hear me in the back. Visitors are all in, please, Sunday night away. There is a sign-up sheet going around.
Hey guys.
Sign.
Vincenzo.
Anyway, please sign in. A couple reasons we want you to sign in. One, we want to know who was wild enough to show up at these meetings, and they are your meetings. The other reason is that we're required to turn these in to corporate office. And they will all go into the corporate office, and it's part of our safety training. That's why we open up this meeting with the safety topic. The safety topic tonight is the buddy system. I know we talked a little bit about it before in regards to mental issues and stress and so on, but I want to talk tonight about the buddy system as it applies to physical well-being of your buddy. A lot of folks don't want to miss work, rightfully so. If you're out because you're sick, you don't get paid. But if you notice somebody's demeanor is changing, or they're having trouble with their breathing, or they have a prolonged illness, please encourage them to come and see our medic. That's what we have the medic for. Because over here, the truth of the matter is, we can take you to the American hospital, but it has to be a matter of life and limb. It has to be very serious before we take you. And unfortunately, I lived in camps as many years as I've had. I've seen more than one person found in their room in the morning and they're dead. They have a heart attack during the night, and we find out later that they had many symptoms of it, but no one reported it. People knew about it, but no one turned them in. We had one guy that died from a kidney stone, of all things. Only because he wouldn't say anything to anybody because he didn't want to get shipped out. So use the buddy system. If you got someone that's not healing fast or is talking about a symptom that's not going away, come talk to us or encourage them, at the least encourage them to go to our medic. All right. Tomorrow morning is our commander's call. We have every 2 weeks. And we have a special request from the commander tomorrow that we could have roll call at 0530 instead of 0600. Now, only those of you sitting here know about it, so we're going to ask you to spread the word, tell your roommates, tell your bunkmates that the commander's call will be at 0530 tomorrow morning. So we'd appreciate it if many of you as possible would show up for the commander's call. We just found out about it late today, and I didn't get a chance to talk with the commander about it, but Sergeant Randolph came in and asked us if we could be here. Another thing I want to clear up, and I think most of you that went through Florida probably heard this, we normally do not transfer any URS employees, any new hires, within 6 months of their date of hire. The reason we don't do this, especially on jobs like this, is we need to recover our investment in that person. We need 6 months to see if that person really is a good employee, going to work out for us. We need 6 months to help us with our cost. If I were to hire you and bring you over here and a month later send you to a job in Iraq, then I have the cost of this, and I also take the chance of sending you over to another project I have in Iraq, and you might not turn out to be a good employee. I only had you for a month. So now I've hurt myself twice. So after 6 months, I'm telling you, if you find another URS job, come see us. We'll try to help you get it if it's better than what you've got now. So, but a lot of you are coming up in 6 months. In fact, I want to mention that as well. We've now put together a list of everybody that's been here 6 months or longer, and they're getting to be a good number of you. And we plan to recognize you some way, because that's a good contribution. We really appreciate it. The Eagle card you've been signing up for, Sandra has an update on that, if you would, please.
Basically, where we are with the Eagle card is that everyone that have signed up, made out a spreadsheet, and your name is on it, and it's been submitted to the finance. That doesn't mean the list stopped. If anyone else wants to get access for the Eagle card, continue to sign up on the list. I will add your name to it, and you'll be able to have access to getting the Eagle cards.
This will be your last chance for now. Many of you have already signed up. We have your names on the list. We're going to give you one more chance, and then we're going to submit this. We have all the paperwork ready, and all we need to do is put an attachment on there with your names that are going in.
Okay.
Sir, I went down to the finance office, gave my cat card, took about 2 minutes to give you the Eagle card. That's all you have to do.
Right.
Nothing to it.
What we're trying to do is make it so not everybody has to go down there. We're trying to take care of it for you. But you can go down there because the company is registered. And the company has to be registered before you can get the cash. And we've done that. But we just wanted to try to get everybody in at one time. Anything else on that? Training?
Yeah, what we've done was we've been able to get with the escort badging department over at ECP1 area, and they've agreed to give us a monthly training. So what we'll be doing is on the first Saturday of every month, we'll be scheduling you guys to go in, ECP1, actually set up for 2 different times, like 10 a.m. and also 2 p.m. To get a refresher. They'll go over things like badging, searching, and things like that to help you guys out for continuing education. Other training is we're also working on to actually improve our driver training because of the recent incursions that we've had. So we're looking to improve the driving training area, and we should have that completed probably within the next two weeks or so. So, and you guys have asked me about, becoming a driver. Once we complete the process, we'll maybe go and get you signed up and get you set up where you can go through the training process. So it includes like 3 days of refresher, CMA courses, riding along with the drivers and things like that, and maybe some small evaluations, that sort of thing. Any questions on that?
The training that you're referring to as far as going over to the ECP and searching, okay, do you have a detail of exactly what they're going to be doing? Are they just going through how to search a vehicle, or are they going through what you're looking for, the procedures that you follow once you find something, or even how to even identify?
Yes.
And also with that, is doing the searching, have you contacted EOD?
Yes, those are good questions. What the escort department is going to be doing is they're going to be working with specific search techniques. They're also going to be focusing on how to identify prohibited items, things like that, and looking closely at the badges to make sure that we understand the privileges that our TCNs actually have, things like that. With regard to other type of training with different departments, Ray is currently working on that. It's not completed yet, but we'll be getting with you guys once we complete that process also.
Yeah, the monitor refresher course, first of all, it's a result of your persistence in wanting additional training and our lack of making it happen a lot sooner for you. But we've been asking a lot of questions lately because you've been asking a lot of questions. We've asked questions primarily about electronic devices, and we're getting the answers in regards to that. We're asking about proper search techniques, and we're getting the answers from the military. It is the military's obligation, and we need to be very frank about this. It is the military's obligation to train us and direct us and provide the information on how we search vehicles, how we control individuals. Let me tell you what. First of all, it's in the contract that they're required to. Second of all, we, Washington Group International, and with your help, because you're all WGI, and many of you have done this a long time. If we sat down and wrote a procedure, we could probably write a better procedure than the military could. But the chance we take is if you follow that procedure that we write, the car gets through here and blows up. Guess who wrote the procedure? Guess who's liable for the procedure? I'm not saying we aren't going to help the military. You should help them. We're going to help them. I'm not suggesting literally do what they provide to us. The bottom line is the military has to sign it. It's just a matter of liability. And truly do want to help. You know we do it. The military will certainly understand. Anything else on that? Why don't you go? There you go. Yeah. I just have a couple of things off the action item list. One of the things in regards to the monitor leads, I haven't been able to, I go on Virtual Edge, I haven't been able to find you guys applying for it. So I've asked our recruiter to go into Virtual Edge and see if he can find your application and get it to me so I know who has applied for the position. So that will happen. He sends me the Virtual Edge report, but I can't find it. So I'm either looking on the wrong number or something, but you'll find it if it's there. Internet. I told you a while ago that this colonel has been put on the spot pretty much about bringing internet to us. He's doing what he can do. He's checking into it. He's got people looking into it. I know you've heard that before. But Sergeant Randolph back here is very adamant that we should have the same internet privilege that the military has. I don't know if we'll get it in this program, but if the military has internet in the barracks, then we should have it. So we're working really hard on that. I'm probably more optimistic right now.
Dave Cook, Bagram Afghanistan. Now here at the defunct U.S. prison. They're doing construction to the U.S. prison here at Bagram. This is the site where in 2005 4 prisoners escaped. I'm Dave Cook, Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan. Bagram Airfield.
That's all they say. Right, Ron?
That's correct.
But the military will come through and give us the same internet privilege the military has. And I know the military has internet privilege. So we may have a way in to get the internet. One of the things in the suggestion box, and I don't know if day shift or night shift made a suggestion, I assume it's day shift, want to be able to get your mail until 10 o'clock at night.
There was actually night shift that went someone on at night shifts to get their mail.
Night shift?
Yeah.
Well, regardless, I'm sure there's folks on day shift that like to be able to get their mail later in the evening as well, so we're gonna look into that, and what we'll probably do is train somebody on night shift to be a mail clerk and come in and open it up for the night shift people. And if day shift happens to be here, then you can get your mail as well. That's probably what we'll do to address that. Harvey?
I just have a correction to one of the questions that that was presented last week. Anyway, anybody got any issues tonight? It's open forum for right now. Your time to ask any questions that you might have over that occurred since last Monday. Okay. No questions? Yes, sir.
Can we address radios?
What do you mean when you say address radio?
Several times last week, I've been driver all of last week,
And I have people coming up to me and saying, you need to pay attention to your radio. What's happening is I get a call on the radio, I respond to the radio, and then nothing else afterwards. After I've responded, I should hear something again, but nothing. Then I drive down to whoever called me. Oh, well, you didn't call me back, so we sent a CMA with that escort.
Since the programming of the radios a few weeks ago, we've had a lot of problems with the radios and stuff like that on the flight line.
Really?
Yes.
You're getting
And
blind
it's
spots.
rain related?
Yeah, and when they were doing kind of connections, that's what they did every Tuesday for some reason.
Oh, you know if they, did something different?
Or have they changed the code?
I know they changed all the channels, they spoke like the way channels and all that, but other than that, I know they've been crossing.
Ron, you wanna check into that?
Sure.
I will say one thing though, what we've always done on construction projects over the years, and probably the monitor leads might be a good one to do it here. If you do something called someone else.
Hey, XGS here with Behind the Wire, here in Bagram Airfield, Bagram, Afghanistan. Today we are interviewing Pedro, or more specifically, the Pedro bus, who now has his own parking spot labeled with, unless your vehicle has a mustache, don't park here. Over here, you see the bus. And it does in fact have a mustache on the front, as well as a nice big 50 caliber looking thing.
Mario, let me just
Please
ask,
note
how many
the,
people are
license
having that
plate
problem
down
with
here
their radios?
on the gate. Yes, the Pedro bus features
Okay,
green
that's a
flames,
good amount,
wrenches,
Okay.
helicopter blades on the tires. My favorite part, stop, hammer time. Moving right along, notice it's just a normal school bus. It says vote for Pedro.
I will say, you guys are aware there was a very large sun flare within the
Bus is
last
parked
7
here
days.
just like every
It was on the
day,
news.
and every day we
Well,
steer
don't
it.
forget that our monitor leads have cell phones too. So they're not on the pipeline.
Rear license plate, Pave Rescue. Caution, 30-year-olds crossing. There you have it, that's the Pedro bus. Okay, XCS, sign out from Bagram Airfield. This is XCS signing off from Bagram Airfield, Bagram, Afghanistan.
And there was a question as to whether or not sick time would be included in the next employment agreement. I distinctly remember saying that that's probably not going to happen. That's not, but I'm looking at it here and it's saying your employee agreement may include sick leave benefits. Harvey's working on it. No, not going to happen. It's not on this particular contract. So sick leave benefits are not something that's going to be available on this particular contract. And make sure that is crystal clear. Next thing I want to talk about is a little more rumor control. There's been a rumor going around regarding your security clearances. When I say a rumor, that URS as an organization has not done everything that they need to do to move the approval of your security clearance forward. So let me walk through that process for you just very briefly. Once you came on, when you were in processing, you had to go into equip and put all this information. Our security person in the organization help you to get that into the equip system. Once that information is in that system and the button is pressed to send it on, that's all the responsibility that URS as an organization has in terms of getting your security clearance taken care of. I can tell you from working with other contractors that there are so many people, so many contracts now that require you to have a security clearance that the backlog is humongous. I've known people who have put it in 18 months ago and they still don't have it. So some of you will get it back real fast, and others it may take an extended period of time. But there is nothing else that URS can do or has a way of influencing the completion of your security clearance. That's just kind of the way it works in this environment right now. So if there's there was a list of folks that kind of circulated around, but at the end of the day, we've done all we can do. I am going to make some inquiries around some of the ones that have been out there since June and July of last year. I will ask the question again, which I did on the conference call, the HR conference call last Tuesday, and the response was the same. And I'm going to ask about some individuals who have come to me. I did commit that I would send an email and ask the question, so I'm going to do that and find out what I can about the security clearances for a couple of individuals. I'm expecting the same answer, but I'm going to try it differently.
Believe me, there's really nothing I can do. The company has been trying for over 9 months now to get me a TSSCI to allow me to work on a proposal for a project coming up in Germany. We've got the proposal, we're working on it, but I can't even read the proposal because I don't have TSSCI. And it's 9 months that they're trying to get me that clearance. They haven't been able to do it. So there's nothing the company can do. Once it falls into that black hole called the government, it's stuck there. So, some of you get yours really quick, and others, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It just means it's bogged down the system.
They have contractors that go out and contract out a lot of the responsibility because they just had so many. It's really kind of the luck of the draw for now.
Anybody have any questions?
Anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
What is the effective date of hire? Is it your wheels up, your boots on the ground? What is the accurate date
I
of
actually
hire?
have the date of hire for everyone in this room except for those people who arrived after January 14th. Everyone that arrived prior to January 14th, I have your official date of hire. I will get another report.
What is the difference? Is it?
Your date of hire is the date you officially went on the books to work for URS.
Is that from when I got paid when I was at Tendo? When I got paid here? What
the date you take your physical, or the date you trained?
I will tell you that when they started this thing up, they were using some different kind of dates. I asked those questions. Is this the official date that when someone went to Tyndall? Is this the date that they want wheels up? If you want to know your date, I'll give you a date, and we can kind of have a conversation. You can tell me, well, what date was this? Was this the day you arrived at Tyndall and did the paperwork, or is this the date when you went wheels up? I just have the dates that they have in the system. And whether or not it connects with your processing date or it connects with your wheels up date, I won't know until we talk, all right?
And that's all we need to know because of the 90-day thing they talked about.
I understand. Yeah, but I have those dates up to what's in the system up to January the 14th. And if you arrive after January 14th, I won't get that report for another few days. But if you want to know what it is, just let me know. I'll pull it up. And then I'm probably going to ask you, what date does this connect to? And I'm hoping it will be consistent with something, either wheels up or the date that you processed in Tyndall. And if it could be all over the board.
Is there?
I was wondering because this contract here is totally different.
Yeah, it is.
What I've seen.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's different. I'm not saying it's full. I'm simply saying that it's different. And I understand what you're talking about, Deidre, because typically for contracts over here, for the most part, it's your wheels up date.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask some questions as you ask me, and I'm going to ask you what date does it connect to?
Okay.
And hopefully it'll be consistent. It'll be with wheels up or the date that you processed in Tyndall, you went down and did your paperwork and they put it in. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it might just be more rumor, but I'm hearing that some of us with tickets to take us back through Kuwait, that they may be changed to take us to Dubai.
there have been some emails sent to some of you to change the dates on your ticket. I don't have an answer for that tonight. I'm kind of waiting on folks to get in so I can pick up the phone and say, hey, what's the story on these tickets? I hope to be able to do that tonight before I shut it down. Yes, ma'am.
If we want to go back through Kuwait, can we do that?
I apologize, we need to turn this off just for a few minutes. We're gonna have a team
Somebody had that problem, check it out, you have to bring it back in person, the only way you can turn your IDA.
Not necessarily. Yeah. We're ironing out as to your question as to whether or not you can go back. Once we get the process certified, we're supposed to come back and give you an answer.
That's people that's already gotten
Once we work it out, I'll come back and bring it back.
Okay, can we get started for the WGI people that are interested in the volunteer all-hands meeting tonight?
You don't want to go back through, drop it off, but we're researching that. We should have something.
Not much, really. Just to kind of follow up, I think one of the things we emphasized last week was to offer up to those of you that are interested this job openings list that we made available to you. The one that we published last week had well over 2,100 postings. We tried to clarify that those postings were not necessarily all job openings, but they were leads on possible continued employment with URS. There was an announcement this week, a Federal Services Win announcement, which is the division we're in. And it was actually something that Gordon touched on, Gordon Kennedy, while he was here. And that was that a lot of these Army pilots that you see, in fact, I think what he said was all of them are actually trained by URS Corporation. So the announcement that was out this week was that Federal Services just won
there's a lot of civilian personnel that are gathering information.
Is valued at $53 million.
And they're putting it out at
Training
will.
Services
Okay,
Task
now
Order
is
on a
it somebody that you
time-and-material
sent out to
basis
gather
was
information?
via the General
Or are they out
Services
doing it on their own?
Administration. Mission-oriented
As
business
far as
integrated
like
services
job duties,
contract.
descriptions, you know,
It's for training services on a hybrid firm
searching,
fixed contract.
because like I said, when I hear things, I wanna know
It's
who
two
it's
task
coming
orders
from.
for
If
a
it's
period of
coming
1
from you
year with
guys,
4
are you delegating
one-year
people
options.
out?
The
Monitors
URS team,
out
including subcontractors,
to find out this
provide
information and bring it
advanced
back to
helicopter
you?
collective
Or are they
flight
out doing it on
training
their own?
and
And then just putting the information out
UAS
there?
simulation,
Or what?
enhanced
Because
training, program
when we're out on the
management,
work site
financial management,
and you
integrated
got Tom,
logistics
Dick, Harry, and
management,
Jane
engineering support.
telling you that, well, I
So,
spoke to this
just a
person, I
prime
spoke to that
example
person.
of,
This
kind
is
of
what
a
they
follow-up
said.
on,
Okay.
you
Who
know,
authorized
potentially,
it?
there could
And
hopefully
why
be
is it
some
being put out like
opportunities
that?
there for some of us, maybe not, but, you know, it's a nice win for us, $53 million worth of
This
work.
organization is not
I
authorized.
guess to
do that.
expand a little bit, a little further on our talk this morning, I wanted to clarify
They said it was put out
that,
by
you know,
security
there's gonna be a
forces
renewed
as
emphasis on
required out
quality
the gate.
control.
Now, the first time I heard about it was a week ago.
Is Victor
They've
here?
got other people searching for
Victor,
their hoods.
Yeah, Victor is gonna be our
If you bring back
quality
here
control
secondhand,
rep.
nothing's coming out straight.
I'm gonna work directly with Victor, get our quality control program
Okay, who did CI
updated,
tell this to?
submit it to the Air Force.
Did CI tell it to you? Did CI take
It'll
it to
be,
our management?
Glenn's
So
counterpart.
if they didn't take it to you and you put it out to us, why is it getting put out to
Very
you?
important that we do our job.
First of all,
As I noted this morning, you know, we're all paid to be here, and that means that URS is contracted to provide a service.
from the site leads,
If we don't provide that service, then the Air Force has a document that's issued on a monthly basis that documents the fact that we didn't comply with certain contractual obligations.
doing things that we should not.
In that document, the non-compliances are listed with the individual's
Government.
name who we're in violation.
Those that are responsible.
We're gonna make it a point now to try and get in front of these issues so that we don't end up with monthly reports that are, how can I say, not in a favorable light for our team. Because it's a reflection on everybody. Even though the individuals are named in the report, it's still a reflection of our performance in total. We want to do a good job. We want to do what we're paid to do. And we intend to hire all three of them. So
I understand that, but we want enforcement protection, CI has something to direct us to do.
in fact, I apologize for that because the open meeting.
Our site, military site,
You talked about earlier about sunscreen, so if you need all looking for sunscreen or need sunscreen, Ron's gone now, so you probably just talk to people, and they should use some sunscreen, but it's very important to use sunscreen while you're out there in the sun. I mean, even a dark skinned person like myself, get a tan, alright?
Well, not only the sunscreen team, but, long sleeve shirts,
Back to my
realize it's
original
hot out
question
there.
is, this is what I'm talking about. I was at Charlie ECP, I've got
Hats.
a monitor saying that he's gotten this information directly
Where
from
you're
CI.
required on some of these sites to wear hard hats.
Why is he talking to CI and passing information on? That's not his job.
Not all of our sites are hard
If
hats.
you need us to know something out in the field, that should come from you, force protection,
So,
security forces, somebody other than somebody who took it upon themselves to figure out some information and put it out there, because it's gonna get somebody killed, it's gonna get somebody hurt. Bottom line.
Yeah, and I think the idea here is, generally open forum, if we have any comments or concerns.
Last call.
Anybody wants to make note of, or bring to our attention while we're all here. Oh, I know something. Last week, we changed the mandatory meeting to voluntary because the rumors have subsided. And we noted that one of the reasons these meetings were mandatory, and Morehart felt that they needed to be mandatory.
The question is, we're going to be a monitor lead, you have to be the last one.
Any
to leave
rumors
the
that
site.
anybody's heard that
You've got to
you're
know
concerned about.
what time everybody left.
You've
the
heard
site.
this or you've heard
Yeah,
that.
that last bus.
Is concerned.
First bus and the last bus. You have to know.
I brought it up with
Pardon me?
have early kids at every site.
Now, I asked, do you leave before all your people are gone?
Ridiculous one vehicle, but it only had.
That was my question.
When do we find out, like, the contract, as far as when it's going in?
That's not on that. We had someone get injured inside.
But I know that
Let's just say
Gary,
that we should-
our medic,
we should have
actually makes
more
pretty, in fact, I think,
accountability.
is Gary still here there? Did you make a run today,
That's
Gary?
March, April, May,
Oh.
60 days. That's
Remember
why
when it's your
we
time to
next
talk, we
March,
said make sure you're in
April,
the
May,
front.
60 days, 60 days
Start
out.
February 11th.
March.
Start February 11th.
Friday.
I would expect a positive response by the middle of next month. That's my expectation. Yes, sir, Mr. Lee.
Under your understanding, what is the end date of the contract?
We almost made it, boy.
Well,
Almost made it without getting
hey,
to
the only reason I ask that is because everybody wants to know and nobody
Everybody
will
wants to
ask.
know. The official end date for this particular contract is the 10th of May.
10th of May.
10th of May.
Wasn't it passed out about 2 months ago?
There's two end dates in the contract, one's the 10th of May, and one's the 24th of May, but we believe it'll be the 10th of May that they use to renew the contract.
Thank you.
But you know that.
We'll make sure that we coordinate any of that with Sergeant Lotto. This is going really, really well. I may be in my feelings myself. Let me go ahead and address this question regarding in the contract, well, end of employment agreement. What's your question?
Yeah, say.
I gotta wait a year, so I gotta wait
Okay,
Yeah, I
your
think that we
employment
should bring it
agreement states that at the end of the contract year, you
Do
will
we interact?
you will
How's it
receive
work
a
out there,
prorated,
guys?
a prorated bonus based on the number of days that you've been on the contract. Then you got a whole, you get the whole in July.
It's only 3 weeks.
You'll be short maybe 3 weeks of the, yes, sir.
I have a little seniority question about the pecking order. If you're in a room with
Yes, sir.
the pecking order around here, if you're in a room and there's 4 guys on the top bunk and somebody moves out of the room, somebody else from a different room can move in the bottom bunk and
We're
those
not
other 4 will
responsible
stay on
for
the
this.
top bunk?
We certainly want
Is
to.
that the pecking order?
Well, let's just. All right, I'll take it. You can have that. All right, hold on.
So, as we've said before, the choice of top or bottom bunk
There's not somebody right on the side.
with
They can address
couple
it.
exceptions
If you're on the radio.
stays within the room. So if you're in a top bunk and you got the most seniority of all the top bunkers, bottom bunk comes available, you get it. If we have an individual that we send to Kandahar for the badging process, you know, we've all talked about you guys volunteering to go to Kandahar for the badging process so that I have somebody available when I need them back from Kandahar, because it takes 4 days,
And they're,
or you can even be
I'll
out
tell you what happened.
in
They're
Kandahar.
working on
So we're
those
sending people to Kandahar.
big T-walls.
When they go up there and come
There's a guy
back,
up on
if they
top
want a
of
bottom bunk, they're gonna get a bottom
T-wall,
bunk back.
welding.
And it may not be
with
in the
no
same room they're
goggles.
in a case like that,
The
somebody on
wind is
top bunk
blowing
might
like
get bumped.
crazy, and he's got
Somebody goes
no,
out on a medical, they come
safety
back off
harness of
medical.
any kind.
If you
I
were
went,
that
there was
person,
a
you were in a bottom
army
bunk, you
sergeant
come
that
back,
was
you
in
want to
charge
be
of those
bottom
guys.
bunk. Because you still have
He's a
seniority in
deputy.
country. That got you a bottom bunk in the first place.
Yeah, well,
So,
you're gonna watch the
we're
guy
trying to be
die.
as fair as we can about it, but there's always gonna be
So I
some.
think you brought it to the supervisor. That's a good thing. I think that the immediate supervisors.
We've been there.
You've taken it as far as you can take it.
Yes, sir.
The right thing.
Okay, now I'm gonna throw a curveball
We'll
in
have to.
here. Television. Game Boy. People sitting in here playing games on both getting
But do we have the right to
somebody
stop
wants to watch the
unsafe
movie.
acts?
Let's lay out the rules.
Yeah.
You know what?
You know, it's a fine line. We're not responsible for those people. And, you know, our company, we're not trying to.
If no one's here,
And
and
where we
watching the
start
movie, it should be okay to play a
in the
video.
business of others.
But if someone comes in
potentially
and
expose
wants to
our
watch a
company
movie on
financial
TV,
obligations that we're-
probably want to shut it off. I'm just throwing this out there as a reasonable way.
Absolutely.
And everybody plays back there on their,
Absolutely.
on their video games on the
Take it
back.
as far as
This
you
one,
can take
you know, the chairs, you know, folks come in and watch TV or watch a movie.
That's the way it's been, so new personnel need to be briefed.
All right. No question. What's up?
All right. Say for unfortunate reason, whatever,
None of y'all have right
Judge
to
doesn't
there,
get the content.
those or anything like that.
That's not our
Maybe I
responsibility.
said something about,
You can bring it up
URS
there,
trying to place
the site,
people in
safety
other
person,
projects that are open.
their supervisor, student.
Okay, how does that process work? How far out
For that concern,
you guys will let us know about
the
that?
site lead gets all the clear of those things.
Let me give you a couple scenarios. First of all, if the government decides not to give
You know,
us.
we've tried to emphasize the importance
They have two
of
choices.
imminent danger.
Choice number
Imminent
one
danger would be
is they can
if
go to
you-
Congress
you're
and try to call up
witness
more
to
troops
somebody
to replace
carrying
the
something
150
and they're walking
police.
towards an open trench.
That's probably
You
not
can
gonna
see that they're
happen.
gonna step
Second
into it.
thing they can do
You wouldn't go
is
over to the
go to
supervisor and say, hey, tell your guy.
and say,
You know, he's about to step, in the meantime, he falls down in the
Yeah,
trench.
contract.
You know, you would feel,
Take it over,
in fact, you're
or we'll give
obligated,
them an outrageous
I
price.
think, to go up and
If
stop
they
the guy.
get
Hey,
to
hey,
it, come in
hey,
here and
stop,
hire,
stop.
there will be a-
He might not understand what
Because
you're
as you
saying.
know, in
That
contract
loud noise will get his
language, so
attention,
many of you are contract
stop him,
workers.
and,
You guys work for
they fall
yourself.
into that open print.
If a new company comes in, I just turn that hat around and I floor or I dyke.
No, I mean, I think,
That's why we do that.
I think we do
They
care.
took over
I think it's difficult not
quite a
to
few
care.
KBR's
But,
contracts in Iraq.
Actually, we're not,
KBR employees are.
we're not,
We're not their boss.
well, you know,
Other than that,
we're not
I mean, we
obligated.
certainly,
We're not responsible.
if we have other jobs.
And once you start assuming responsibility, you're taking on an area that
That's
now
our
you're
benefit. You know,
subjected.
we usually don't have much luck doing that because when you know
It's
another
not
company is
what
gonna come in
we're
and take over the contract.
You know, to be honest with you, think about this, you know, most of them are probably working safer than they've ever worked before, to be quite honest with you. I mean, you know, I've been in Afghanistan for 2 years, and a good 6 or 8 months of that has been in the city of Kabul. It's kind of a very unique experience. I also spent 2 years in Iraq, but it was all on bases. The green zone, the international zone, or Camp Victory, or inside a base. And I think, you know, for those of you that have been here, your experience has been inside the wire, not outside the wire. So I was able to experience outside the wire.
Yes, ma'am.
And you would
the
be
security of the
absolutely
mail,
amazed,
are you guys
obviously,
gonna
I
implement
mean,
a
what
new
you see out there.
system for
It's
bringing the mail in?
amazing
Because you,
what
they'll
you
bring
see
the mail in
people
and just set
working
it on the table.
You know,
And anyone can
medium
walk by
voltage,
and check to see if they have
lines,
mail, but without them taking the mail
some
handlers,
cases maybe
mail
41,
handlers,
60.
You're not supposed to touch it.
right,
you
so,
know,
but
medium
it's
voltage
unsecure
lines,
until
working on
Isaac or
flip-flops or
Ron or
some kind
anybody,
of rickety guy or standing up there amongst
writes it down
us.
on the sheet.
You know, it's
But it's
amazing.
just on the table.
Okay.
In the city.
We'll talk to the
I
Air
didn't see
Force,
any of that,
that's the
you
way
know,
we used to do it. When the
some
Air
of the
Force brought the mail in,
places
and one of our
inside
mail
the-
clerks weren't here, they would take it in their
Inside the
office.
city, you see a lot of that stuff, so.
So, we'll talk to them, but yeah, it's supposed to be secured. All our
Okay.
mail handlers can put it away.
I think that one of the things that we've been announcing is that we were expecting some management assistance here. We've got it now. John,
Are you able to
John
send any woman to Kandahar yet?
Atchison. He's going to be taking over for Harvey Dickinson. Harvey Dickinson is out.
Oh, they want to go myself.
Designated HR person. John is also going to help us with
We
some
only have
other
one
stuff.
female at Kandahar.
Document control and various other things. He's been with the company for almost
It's an
4
ongoing
years.
problem,
now,
but it's a problem we haven't given up on.
We welcome
all day
John.
wide. It's very,
Doors will
very
be open to
unfortunate
you.
that we have
In some
recruited
cases,
so
he's
many
gonna be
women
inviting
who are
you in.
still sitting in the States. They haven't gotten over
There
it.
are some open HR issues that he's going to help us with now. He's kind of been holding back a bit.
I realized that when Lon and I went through, there was a lady that went through with us, and she's had some
We're
security
still
issues
understaffed,
to deal with.
not
She
fully
still has to
staffed
be
yet,
called up now,
so
first of November.
John will be with us for the next little while.
As I said, had some
And
security issues.
we appreciate everybody's cooperation.
We
in
certainly
helping John.
are trying to be able to send more women to Kandahar. Right now, we only have one there, as I said. If we could get orders, I gotta have it done. Call up and send them to the You ain't going?
I talked to Carmen and she said
Driver
if she had to
situation,
stay in
I'm actually,
Kandahar, she said she's still
working
working
on
on seeing me Bagram.
Victor. We can discuss that.
Kandahar is not all right.
I don't want to give you a wrong answer. As it stands now, it is.
Yep. That's Diego.
Boardwalk, 20% of the agents, a nice big circle, and it's got like a bullseye right in the middle.
It's the living
Yeah, there's some
conditions down there are.
things that we're considering with the drivers that we hope to make it better.
That's good. It's here.
Wow.
You guys in that dorm over there, you got it made. I was telling you. Down there, they're on top of each other. We're speaking to. Yeah. Yeah, we're speaking to WGI arrangements.
Apples and
There are some nice living arrangements down there. They just don't have to be connected to WGI.
Sir, have you heard anything further on the Bagram deal? I mean, it was kind of fuzzy.
No, we haven't heard any more, we haven't heard any more about the initial people.
Keep your fingers crossed. Okay, last thing that I want to share this evening has to do with training. Last week, we talked about
Anything else?
training. What do you think about 15 minutes out of this on Monday night? I could do some training out here for you. I know that came up last week, but I want to make sure before I go in here and change these slides that there is an interest here. And when I say the different types of training I can do some, what I call interpersonal communications, conflict resolution, you know, that kind of stuff. Things I can do, stress management.
That's put you on the spot.
We're extremely short enough to have only one or two individuals on site.
To do those kind of stuff.
Sites that should have been closed down, as past were open.
Oh, yeah, it's voluntary. This whole, you're sitting in here for this hour is voluntary. You know, it's just an opportunity if you'd like to get to be exposed to some different things around safety, security. I do suicide prevention training, I do combat stress. I do all of those types of training. It's just a matter of is there an audience for it?
If I don't have no confused, no get out, it'll work. They have no manpower to cover one.
Well, I think that happens on occasion.
This would be strictly voluntary, on a voluntary basis.
It's out of our
15-minute vignettes.
I think that it was addressed properly by saying.
You're interested, if I get 10, 15 people,
I know,
that's
in the
interested.
day, during the day.
These are going to be shorter and shorter.
Occasion or two, and
Will that training come with
the
any
position
type of
that
certification?
seniors always take.
There are some classes that I teach that you can get a certification, but they're not 15 to 20 minutes. They're at least 45 minutes.
What about the mandatory?
Mandatory training is handled by Isaac and Morehart.
So are you certified in it, or it's difficult?
It's just a certificate that just says that you are completed it. It's just like any other kind of training.
There won't be a certificate for every training.
You report to the military
put
site,
on,
they take it up and change from there.
Safety training section.
And that's.
But all that training will be done within your 72 hours.
Yeah, we take it to our client. Our client has a rep on site, and they work with the contractor.
What we're doing is, we have testing set up this week. Friday, Saturday, I believe it is. And after we complete, there's like maybe 30 people that are scheduled to take the CFA test. And after they're done with the testing, then we're gonna start our CFA classes. That's probably next week.
Ask the 77 when to have someone that speaks English that legitimate. Maybe they didn't understand teachers can't go or something. Just play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Like in Russian English. They had a translator there.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Is there any way that I can go online and get my certificate?
No, the translator
You
used.
online?
Yes, if you want to go online to the course.
Yeah, because see, I haven't taken it, and I think that's what everybody else has.
Yeah, once you complete the course, there's.
Well, I think it's important,
Oh, then I can't do that online?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Document.
All right, thank you all for your time. Appreciate it. Have a fine, now.